Welcome, everyone, to Let's Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator. On today's show, promoting your practice through consumer education with financial planner Jerry Guttman. Welcome to the show, Jerry.
Good morning, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Jerry, you are the quintessential, you have carved this out. I never thought, and this is a true thing, I've been in the business 35 years, I'm just going to do altruistic education in the public domain, and that's going to promote my business. And I would go, not going to happen, right? You have really put together an idea with another organization into your practice, and you've revolutionized your practice over the last decade. Let's talk about walk us through why the public needs education and why you have centered yourself in the community as the premier provider of education and financial services.
Well, again, thanks for having me, Steve. I've been a financial planner for 35 years, and there's a lot of dinner shows. There's a lot of things out there that people go see at dinner. But I felt that as a financial planner, that's just a sales tool. Mm-hmm. It's not, it doesn't satisfy me personally as a human being, as a person. My goal always in my career was to help educate people. I do a lot of things for a lot of organizations because I want to. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of things for veterans. I don't tell people about it. Mm-hmm. This was my way of giving back to the community, tenfold, 20-fold, 30-fold, and actually making a living at the same time.
Well, let's talk about, first of all, the organization Society for Financial Awareness. It's a 501c3 organization, is that correct?
That is correct. It's a nonprofit organization based in San Diego.
So when you're making contact with maybe HR personnel from a company, or maybe a place of worship, or maybe a fraternal organization like the Kiwanis or Knights of Columbus or somebody like that,
yes,
you're making contact with these people on behalf of the Society for Financial Awareness, a nonprofit organization, to teach and educate the actual consumers in the public domain.
That's absolutely correct.
Now, I would have never thought as an advisor, and I know that's our audience today, we would have ever seen that as a methodology for marketing.
When I stand up in front of these organizations, I tell them that I wear two hats. I tell them that I've been a financial planner for years. I tell them that the company doesn't endorse and support what I'm about to say to protect the company. And I tell them that today I'm coming to them as an educator. They're non-selling events. They're purely educational tools for them to put in their quiver so that they have more of an education to help them in their future. And you can almost see in the audience where they become relaxed and more comfortable. And it's a non-manipulative way of teaching them who you are so they see who you are and that you carry yourself properly, and what you are you wear in your sleeve. People know the difference. They know a salesman. They know exactly what they're getting up front. And you know what? People like to know. They want to learn. They want someone that's going to hold their hand. I've always, Steve, I can't speak about this when you were in our business years ago, but I like a needy client. I like a client who wants their hand held, that wants to be taught. Because a more educated client benefits me too, doesn't it? Don't you like to learn?
I do. I'm a learning machine. Let's talk about 10 years ago, though. You really weren't into it that much. And when you did get into it, it wasn't that much of your practice. Now, it is 75% of your total practice over the last decade is doing educational seminars that provide clients into your office.
I got wonderful response from people. I will tell a story, quick story. 3 years ago, my wife and I are traveling. I'm checking in. Gentleman behind the counter, before I even gave him my ticket, he says, "Excuse me, are you Jerry Guttman?" And I said, "Yes." He came around the corner. He said, "You spoke at Paychecks, didn't you?" I said, "Yes." He gave me a hug and said, "You changed my life." He never came in to see me. I gave him the tools to affect his life. What is better with humanity, with people, than helping somebody have a better quality of life? It can't always be about the money, Steve. If we can get paid and make a nice living giving back to society, how bad is that? That's not a bad thing. But if you can't give, and if when you do give, you always expect something back, then you're just, SOFA's not for you.
In the Society for Financial Awareness, you've done a lot of seminars over the last 10 years. How many seminars per year do you do for these people?
I do I'll say anywhere between 35 to 50, 60 seminars a year I do on a regular basis.
This is gratis. This is altruistic education.
I love doing it. I love doing it. I am called regularly. I participate in many organizations. This evening I'm going to a group session where there'll be 60, 70 people. I will give out my card. I will talk about SOFA. And many. And the interesting thing is, Steve, I'll go to this group tonight, and I will bet you that out of the 50, 60 people there, I will have done seminars for 10 of the companies there already.
Now, in your setting, people then, they hear you speak, you're just educating, there's no sale event here, you're just teaching basic concepts in money.
Yes.
But out of that evolves, people want to meet with you.
I offer them a free consultation.
And most of your attendees pick you up on it. Take you up on
We
it.
probably get 65%
Of the attendees.
of the attendees will say yes. And sometimes because of scheduling, spouses, kids, we probably get 50% of those that come in to see us. I think that's a pretty good turnout, if you ask me, because when they come in to see us, they already know what they're looking for. They have already talked to us about a particular topic. It makes what we're doing very easy.
How much did it cost you for the seminar?
Nothing.
Nothing. So let's just walk through to make sure we understand. So the acquisition, let's say of your 60-something people you're going to see tonight, you might get half of those at your door. Your
To
only
do
cost
seminars.
and all you did was seminars.
Right.
That's all you did.
That's correct.
So I want people to think, if you're an advisor today, if you're an RIA, if you're an insurance professional and you're hearing us talk about this, the acquisition cost was just my time to get in front of the public and teach on a subject. And how many subjects do you have already with the Society of Financial Awareness?
It's interesting you say that because we're always designing and developing, and I'm updating and cleaning up. Today I have about 35.
Today.
Today.
Ready to go.
Ready to
So
go.
if an advisor said, boy, I'm so glad to hear that because I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to make a PowerPoint presentation. This is already it went through compliance already?
Yes.
It went through compliance. So it's compliant. I have slide decks ready to go. They also they have integrated into this, right? They have the ability to have the attendance sheets. They have the handouts. They have everything ready to go. All you have to do is show and do a good job sharing.
Well, and we even give them the verbiage that they need to say on the bottom of each slide. So if they're a bit, if they don't have the knowledge to some of these things, if they have a little bit of fear, which is common, I hate to say turnkey, but SOFA has done an amazing job. I've been there for 12 years.
So you could read right off the actual monitor.
If you wanted to, you could. That is not something I do. I like to bring my own personal.
I noticed there's a lot, and a lot of people say, well, Steve, that's you and Jerry. You've been in the business 35 years. You guys have been comprehensive planners for a long time. I'm still working my through. Maybe you're a young millennial. Maybe you're a Gen X and Y. You haven't really done that many seminars. But, Jerry, I've seen basic ideas like getting your house in order, real entry-level financial gigs, and those are some of the more popular ones.
Well, it's really interesting you say that, Steve, because most financial advisors, most people love to prove how smart they are. They like to use really big words. That's not the average. That's not where the average American is. There's over 300 million people here. A lot of people don't have money, don't know how to put things together. They may have cash flow, but they need guidance. They need us to help them. That's what our job is as a financial planner, as a financial advisor, to advise them, to give them direction. Don't tell them how smart you are. Be a friend to them in this educational piece. Share with them your knowledge and how you can help them benefit. That's what we need to do.
So I love the acquisition cost. It's so low. I don't know of any other prospecting tool that we have in the industry that entry-level cost is so insignificant. I also love the idea that the slide decks are already up, PowerPoint's done, even a little bit of tutorial under each slide so I can read it. I think that's great. But all this has impacted your practice. Significantly. So you're in the 75% of all of your business and office time is now on altruistic education, which turns on these prospecting It's like a prospect teacher. You said I have referrals now all the way through. It kind of doubles up on itself.
I've got thousands of evaluations that I've received. People call me from that had come to a seminar 2-3 years ago. They couldn't get there for whatever reason, and now they're planning their retirement. We regularly get calls in. We've built a pretty good machine in our office. And that's a big problem for a lot of financial advisors. I have the ability to turn on the spigot anytime I want, which is not common in the industry. I can get leads, referrals, client appointments anytime I want. That is not common in the industry.
No.
SOFA has done that for me.
So when you're looking at a possibility of a prospecting tool, the Society for Financial Awareness can deliver people. You're going to their facility. No renting of the facility. You're going to their public places.
Correct.
So to me, this is a huge opportunity. And if you say, Steve, I've never really done public speaking, no problem. That's why we have ACE, the other side of the fence, so that you could learn skill sets from your coaching. But these are the kind of things you say, what's the new thing? Well, it's not really new. Jerry's been doing it for over a decade, but he's proven it. And it's now dwarfed his entire practice. 75% is all because of these seminars. I want to thank you, Jerry, for coming in here and telling us about promoting your practice through consumer education. I think it's the new wave. And by the way, maybe even DOL impact proof, right? I mean, think about that.
It is absolutely insulated from the DOL.
So there's a whole other issue. Education as now a DOL insulator for your practice. Listen, keep in mind, before you move it forward to any ideas on the show, always check with your tax consultant, legal counsel, and especially your compliance officer. You've been watching Let's Get Down to Business. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you next time.